So we're going to take a look at our half kneeling position, that setup, and how it can help us work on our motor control and also our balance and vestibular system. So we can use a towel, something that is cushioned, just to take some force out of that knee. And I'm going to demonstrate this in two different positions, one facing this way first and the second facing that way. So we want to find about 9 degrees with our thigh and our shin with that knee over our ankle. Same thing on this side. And we want to make sure that we find a neutral position. And we can adjust that foot in the back. You can see that leg moving behind me. And our hips, we can go from side to side, but something that feels natural and neutral. So if we feel like that hip is down a little too much, we can lift it a little higher with that neutral pelvis. So we're going to place our hands on our hips and connecting with our breath, getting that deep diaphragmatic breath. We're inhaling nice and deep and exhaling just as deep. We want to find a place in this position that there's a slight wobble that's challenging. So if you're not feeling challenged right here, what we can do is bring this foot, that front foot, more in line with the downward leg. So already I'm feeling a little more challenged here. And we go from railroad tracks, both of our knees and overall legs in line with our hips, versus a more narrow base, which adds a component. So I'm going to stay here where you see this wobble, having my hands on my hips. A few breaths here. And if we find ourselves too close, we can adjust. We can bring that foot back out. Good. From here, let's bring our hands to our opposite shoulders. Again, we're staying nice and tall and just feeling that 20 to 30% of our muscle contractions. We're not actively engaging our core. We're not actively squeezing our thigh, those quads, but just these minor contractions of our muscles to help keep us upright. Nice. Let's get in touch with our breath again, taking an inhale and exhaling, turning to one side, inhaling back into the center, exhaling to the other side, inhaling back into the center, exhaling to one side, back to the center, and to the other side. Nice. So here we're starting to challenge that vestibular system a little bit more. Instead of keeping our eyes focused in one direction, we are turning our head, we're adding some movement, making it a little tougher. And now we're going to make it even more challenging as we close our eyes. So a lot tougher here. Really taxing that vestibular system. And then we can relax. So we'll switch sides, and I'll demonstrate it in this direction now. So the leg that was in the front is now that down leg. And again, we can kind of wiggle that back leg, our hips, just checking, finding that neutral alignment. And again, that 90 degrees of our thigh and leg on the back and the one in the front. Again, also bringing our foot more in line if that is what we're looking for. We want to find that slight challenge. Good. Bring our hands onto our hips. Nice and deep belly breathing. Nice. Let's take it up a notch. Bring our hands to our opposite shoulders. We're basically taking away our ability to stabilize each time. So with our hands on our hips, it's a little easier. With our hands up here, it's tougher. And now we're going to have those turns again. Taking an inhale, nice and deep. Exhaling, turning to one side. Inhaling back to the center. Exhaling to that other side. Inhaling center. Completing that cycle one more time. Good. Inhaling back to the center and closing our eyes whenever we're ready. So feeling that wobble, you can see me shaking a little bit more, a little tougher on this side. And relaxing. We're welcome to do that as long as we want to. But this is a great position to be in. When we narrow our base, make it more challenging, working on that balance, a little more motor control, and we can add movements with our upper body. Our lower body stays immobile, it's not moving, and it's stabilizing while we add components with our upper body. So that's our half kneeling setup and helping us work on our motor control and our balance.